Welcome back. In our previous lesson, we have discussed about referencing responses in survey questions. In this lesson, we are going to talk about roster questions. Roster questions are a group of questions and subsections that are repeated to collect similar information. For example, from the previous lesson, we were collecting information on household members. And we saw that the information that we need to collect is just the same for all household members. Does this mean that you are going to type the question now and again for each and every household member? So to avoid that is now when we use roster questions, so that the similar questions that we want, they should be repeated automatically. So first of all, let's add the questions. I'm going to name this as question 1, and the question is how many members are in this household? This is a number question, and let me just make it mandatory. The next question I'm just going to label it as A, and it should be, what is the name of the household member? This is a free text response. Let me just make it mandatory. So this question was also going to make some references. If you have not watched referencing responses in Kobo Toolbox, which is the previous lesson, please do so before you continue. So here I'm just going to put name. Then question B, I'm going to say is, I'm going to make a reference here, is name male or female? This is a free text response. Let us also make this mandatory. Let's add more questions. So we're done adding the questions. And these questions, the first one is, how many members are in this household? For example, the respondent says there are 5 household members. It means that you are going to collect the information on these questions for all the household members. And the first question is, what is the name of the household member? On this one, let's say, please list the names starting with the oldest to the youngest. So after listing the first person, here the question will be, is the first person male or female? After that, how old is the first person? Then, what is the highest education level of the first person? To make use of the roster question feature, you need to group the questions that have to be repeated. So in this case, as you can see, we have 2 different questions. The first question is asking about the total number of members in the household. But the following questions from A up to D, they are collecting information on a single household member. So these questions are the ones that have to be repeated. Now, before we apply roster questions, let's preview them first. So these are the questions. And if we say, for example, how many members are in this household, and we have said 5. If I press enter, you can see that nothing happens. And the following questions, they can only accommodate a single person. So this is now when we use roster questions, so that these questions, they should give us an option of adding more responses or adding more members. So let's do that. We need to group these questions as I've already said. Let's select them. Question A up to question D. We have grouped them. So we're going to say household members, members information. Now, you go to settings within that group. Click on it. Then go down, you are going to see here it says repeat. Repeat this group if necessary. So you have to click OK. Then close this. Now let's preview it again. So if I go down here, you can see that now we have these two options. We have a minus symbol and a plus symbol. This minus symbol is like for removing the group or the questions. And this one is for adding another group or the questions. For example, let's fill in these details. How many household members are in this household? For example, I say 2. If I go to the next question, let me put my name. So the following question says, is Innocent Ngurowe male or female? I say male. The next question says, how old is Innocent Ngurowe? I put 25. What is the highest education level of Innocent Ngurowe? So I put, for example, secondary. Now we also have another household member whose details have to be taken. So to do that, we simply click on the plus sign. Once I click there, you can see that it has also added these questions. And they are the very same questions as the ones that we're seeing here. So you can also add another household member. Once you have done that, you can keep on adding until you reach the number of the household members in that particular household. So that's how we use roster questions in Kobo Toolbox.